Hi guys, this is Tony here from Metal Roos. You're about to sit down and enjoy an interview I just did um, over there, and so do like and subscribe so you can get all this straight into your streaming and into your consciousness as soon as it arrives. So enjoy the interview, and I will. Over to you, Tony. Chatting to us on Metal Roos about
No,
your new
thank you for
single,
having
man.
me.
Yeah, it's
Yes, I know we're always happy to talk about it.
brilliant because you're one of those. I've just sort of heard you only recently, um, and it's sort of very quite enigmatic kind of music, my friend. Like it's very universal sounding kind of
Yeah,
metal.
absolutely. Well, it's something that it's simultaneously got, obviously it's universal, it's easy to,
Mm.
consume for anyone, but also it's got our very own like characteristics applied to it. So it's something that we're quite passionate about, sort of trying to see how we can fit in, each member's sonic strengths as well.
Yeah, well, it's very unique. I mean, in that sense, I'm going to say universal. I mean, it's very difficult to put it in a category, but I think
Yes.
the it's very unique. I mean, your lead singer is it Nur? Is that how you pronounce her first name? I don't want to say it wrong.
Yeah, no.
No, it's one of those. She's got a very enticing voice. It was the thing that grabbed me the first up when I first
Yes.
heard it. Going through, I was like, I have to listen to this again. She's got such a really impactful vocal. I mean,
Mm,
how did you meet each
yeah.
other?
She so that was sort of just the thing. She reached out over social media through Facebook, and that's sort of how she found the other members of the band. She had her own vision of where she wanted to go, and she went, "All right, here's the end point. I need people who are willing to travel with me to reach that end point." And that's sort of how we've all discovered each other.
Oh, brilliant. But and it's such, I mean, again, like I keep saying, the Australian scene is so strong at the moment.
Yeah,
There's so many great bands like yourself just appearing. I mean, not just appearing. You've worked hard to get where you've got. It's not you don't just appear, but you know what I mean. It's sort of like coming into our consciousness, I should say. With the new single, the single that came out recently, okay, in Death Shadow. When will the album come out?
we're aiming to sort of get it out mid this year, so within a few months, we'd like to think at least, because Lord knows every time, you've got a goal for something. I don't want to jinx it, so touch wood, but we're working our hardest trying to get all our, tracks recorded. If the tracks are recorded, that's most of the hurdle done. Then we can go on to mixing it. If it's something we don't like, we can always just remix it or add in extra parts.
Yeah, because I mean, the one single that is out now that came out on the 18th of March. The video is easy
Yeah.
to access on YouTube, and you've got Facebook and all that sort of places to find you. It's a really mature symphonic sound for a first single. No,
Yeah. So
congratulate on that.
that's all good.
That's right. So where on the I mean, where do you go with the album? The material that you're obviously writing now, is it all in the same kind of sonic vein as the single, or is it all story type driven, or?
Yeah, it's absolutely going to. We're looking to have it in a similar enough vein. So it's still got obviously, the same, orchestral elements alongside obviously our metal side of things. But it's each song has its own sort of characteristic. Like we've got two in the works are sort of more fast pumping, harder songs. While like we've got another song as well we've been bringing out at live shows that's slightly slower, but still has that, punch behind it and sort of still has that message to tell.
Brilliant. Because it's so when you watch the video, you can see that you're all having good fun playing. And you watch any live videos of you, if you see them, you're always looking like you're having. There's lots of energy in the room, which is splendid. You know. Um, what you're going to be playing Metal Down Under, aren't you? Soon.
Yes, indeed we are.
That's going to be a fantastic lineup. I was looking at that lineup. Nouveau and Shatterface, and it's a really a good strong lineup for you. Are you excited for that one?
Yeah, we're always excited for more gigs. Like it's just one of those things where like on paper, gigs sound like a bit of a nightmare. You've got to get in early, push your gear in as fast as you can, set up with minimal time. be in front of, boiling hot stage lights, finish up at like after midnight. It sounds fun, but there's just something about it that I've agreed with other bands where it's one of those things where it's just so much fun in a weird masochistic way, I guess.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, as musicians, that's your thing, isn't it? I mean, playing music is what you do, releasing into the world your energies and your creation. So yeah, doing it live is the best way to give it to everyone, I would imagine. And particularly with a good lineup like this, you'll feel the energy from other bands and from the fans. It's going to be it's going to go off.
Moodoo is April, so
April.
25th, I want
So,
to say.
and are you getting much traction from the single as it came out? Have you got a lot of good reviews and feedback?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're still a new band. As much as we've been working hard for a while, we are still in the grand scheme of things new. So it's always interesting to sort of test the waters with, a single and sort of get feedback, both good and bad. But thankfully, I've not heard any bad feedback so far. So
Good. I hope not, because people don't deserve to do that. Your art is your art. It's what
yeah,
you create. If you don't listen to it, don't listen to it. That's a
yeah, absolutely.
simple mantra in life, right? But I just think as a collective sound, it's quite dynamic. It's very dark. You're a small band, is what, one, two, three, four piece? Is that right?
Four of us, yep.
Yeah, yeah. So it's and young, so you've got a long way to go. And who are you? Are you signed
Right
to
to go.
anyone?
No, independent.
Independent at the moment. That's even harder for you guys, isn't it? Hopefully,
Yeah.
someone will come out with a checkbook and say, "We want 4 albums." That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh, God, that'd be fantastic. But then, Lord knows that's just wishful thinking sometimes.
I don't know, mate. The kind of music that you've made in this one single, and it hooked me. I've listened to it about 4 or 5 times since I first heard it. It's really, it's just something very hypnotic about it. Where did you record it?
So we did it all ourselves at the rehearsal space.
Mm.
So it's one of those things as well, like um we sort of pride ourselves on sort of at least just making the recording process as simple as possible, where it's one of those things of we can do, because we record essentially just a dry track of guitar and a dry track of bass and use, amp emulation to sort of, help speed up the process. Because we're at a point now in, audio where amp sims are just so easy to work with and they're, you know, just so accessible. And, if let's just say, oh, actually, no, I need to re-record this part, it's not going to be all right, let's book the whole band in, let's get all this recording equipment ready. It's just plug your guitar or bass in and, get going. And a lot of it as well, the symphonic element has just been done through Studio Magic. So
Well, I mean, it doesn't sound that way. It sounds well produced. It's got a great production on it. Um,
thank you.
Absolutely. And Nur's vocals. I mean, I know is she trained operatic singer, or is that just her?
Uh, I don't think I've ever had that conversation with her. I'd like to think so. Well, it definitely sounds like it. So
Yeah, she's got a great range, and she's got a very unique sounding voice, which is what cut through. I mean, you're great musicians, don't get me wrong, but it cut through. It really helps to cut through all the rest of the music, which was something. And did she write the lyrics, or did you write that one?
that'd be a no thing. Yes.
Yeah, it's always easier when the singer writes the lyrics, and they can sing it much easier because they don't
Yeah,
want
it's
to.
one of those things. I think, yeah, we've found with the writing process, we will just be, I don't know if lazy is the right word with other parts, but just one of those things we'll do a very bare bones part and sort of go, you know, to Tommy, the drummer, or to Damien, the guitarist, let's go here's something basic, it gets the idea across, and then we can just add our own characteristics from there.
I suppose it's like when you do a painting or a drawing, it's a base sketchbook first, and then you finish off
Absolutely.
like same kind of creative process. But it's really good to hear bands like yourself come from Australia. Living here now, I've been a long time, and it seems like there's a real surge right now as we're speaking, with the quality of bands coming through and the amount of them. So it's really nice that bands like yourself can cut through that noise. And I mean, what are your I mean, silly question this because everyone's ambitions will be sort of similar. But where do you see yourself in the future? Are you looking for like international success or?
Look, honestly, we're just looking for success and just as long as we can keep, playing the music that we love to play, then
Mm.
in my eyes, that's as successful as a band ever needs to be.
Brilliant. And I think that's the truth, that honesty, isn't it? I mean, we've all
Yeah,
heard bands where they just phone it in after all the many years, and it's just you go and you're bored shitless. But then you go to bands like
absolutely.
you go to bands like yourself, and the energy is like it's raw, and the creativity is like just hits you in the face. Because you're a great guitar. I mean, the guitarist, he knows he's bloody good at what he does. That's
Yeah.
some
Da-
fantastic rhythm there.
yeah. Damien's been fantastic to work with. He's got, this unique sound that he draws from like sort of early 2000s metal, and it cuts through, and he's been a pleasure to work with. Like he's so creative, and it's one of those things where we sort of just lock in with each other and just go for gold.
Oh yeah, and it comes across that way. Watching you live on YouTube and watching your video, which is fun, man. It's such a fun video because it's so Australian. I absolutely loved sitting around the campfire drinking beers. It's just it's just
Yeah.
while you've got this
Well,
sort of carry on.
yeah, I was about to say we had fun doing it. That's the main thing as well. So
Oh, I think it's great. I love that. You're there having drinks and playing guitar, and there's Nerd working around, like,
yeah,
giving it all the drama. It's just, so
yeah,
it's great. I hope that when the album comes out, that it's as good as this single, and I'm sure it will be because it's a cracking first single, mate. And I'm really impressed. And I hear a lot of music in my life. I hear a lot. So when I said, "Oh, I want to talk to these guys," because I was just really impressed by your sound, and I hope that the live sets go well in the Metal Down Under in April, and you get lots and lots of good traction from it.
thank you. That's hopefully what we're trying to get from it. So
Mm. I hope so, man. I really do. But you do have a great image
yeah,
visually in the video and in your artwork and in your live set. So, which is something that you do need, unfortunately, these days. But you have it. You bring it across. It's got a sense of fun, but also a sense of drama as well.
yeah. Because as much as we love being, creative and we love being musicians, we're also performers at the same time. Like you just see the bands, but they just look disinterested. And yes, the music's generally quite good, but you just see some bands and you're like, music's good, but you look like you're just miserable up there. So we like at least enjoying ourselves more than anything else.
I think that's exactly, you hit it on the head. You hit it on the head exactly there. That you've got to enjoy yourself because otherwise we out the front, we feel it. We might go away and go, oh, wow, they can play 9 million notes. Wow, they're so clever. But you don't remember it. You don't remember it. Whereas if you have a show where, I mean, let's be honest, have you seen Maiden or anyone like that? Their shows are memorable. And so you walk
Absolutely.
away and you go, "Oh, I can't remember that one 10 years ago. I remember he did that." This sort of thing it links together showmanship and music. And it's sad when it
Yes.
separates.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Nerd's got that in spades. I'd love to wait to see her live. I'm hoping to get to your show in Sydney, so it'll be pretty good fun. But
Yeah, we'd love to see you there.
yeah, man, absolutely. So again, so it's in April, Little Down Under. If you're in and around the Sydney area, please, please, please buy a ticket. I mean, it's incredibly cheap. I mean, for a price of a beer, you get, so many good quality bands.
Yeah.
It's well worth getting there down to there, and I'm sure you're going to give a absolute killer show. So
If we haven't given a killer show, then we've not done our job. So we
that's
always
right.
aim for 110%.
That's right. It always goes up to 11, right? It always goes up to 11.
If
Yeah,
Spinal Tap could do it, then so can we.
exactly right. Thanks for coming and chatting with me. I hope that you have a good rest of your evening. Keep doing it, man. I'm going to look out for you. I'll keep my eye on the radar for you because you guys are got a really great sound, and I think you're going to go places. So, um,
Thank you.
yeah. If those that haven't heard it, please go and listen to it. Death Shadow. It's on all streaming platforms, I believe. Am I correct?
Yeah, all streaming platforms where good music is found. So
That's exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. And you have a website, of course.
We've got our socials, we've got our
That's it.
Facebook and Instagram.
That's
So,
it.
which
Just
is
hit,
what
yep,
you need most.
exactly. Head there and find out more about the band because they're a unique sound. Anyway, thanks for chatting, and I'll see
Thank you for
you.
having
I'll
me.
see you. No, loved it, and I'll see you in Sydney.
Sounds good. Hope to see you there, mate.
Yeah, bye
See you,
for now,
man.
man. Bye.